Hello and welcome to WTCL round 4 of Silverstone. I'm here in the commentary box with Ethan and Joseph, and the sixth race of the season is starting just now. Babinux in the pole position. Alongside him is Corleone in second place.
Right, there you go.
Corleone is.
Cleanly, seems. And
No,
Corleone
they
taking
haven't
the
been
lead.
up first corner, to be fair.
Very smooth. Cordova's up into third, and he's going to try to take second off his teammate. Ooh. Taking no prisoners there, and he's down to fourth, the pole sitter.
Wow.
Terrible start. Balazine in the background, defending from Leicester. Look, already starting to pull out a bit of a lead, Corleone is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Corleone is pulling away. Now Cordova
Wow.
much better getaway from.
Ooh, Babinu up the inside, but he's going to be outside for the next two corners. He's got a run there. Can he go right around the outside here? And he does. Up to third, Babinio. Last race's winner.
Indeed.
Wiggle there, and Balazine is ready to pounce on Mendes.
And that's
A bit wide by Babinio. Mendes is going to try overtake him,
Go for it.
but
Ooh.
just doesn't have enough. Surprised that he couldn't get the run there. Now heading down into Maggots and Beckett's. Ooh. Everyone's looking a bit feisty. Don't think anyone's really going to go for a move there.
It's from third to seventh. It's a 5-man train now.
He's going to go on.
Maybe
Mendes is going for it. And just straight into the side of Babinu. Surprised he didn't get spin as a yellow flag somewhere. What's happened with that? Someone.
I don't know.
Lichtsteiner. Something's happened there, I presume.
Yeah, it was Lichtsteiner who lost some positions from 7th place.
Not late, not
Presumably, I think probably tried overtaking Leicester, maybe got thrown out of exit. So I'd probably imagine.
Wait for it. Ah.
Yeah. Just went in very deep. He could have probably gone away with that if he just gave a little more space to Leicester.
Well, the inside, yeah.
Full dive there.
And
Reminds me a lot of the stuff you see Takuma Sato doing in IndyCar, just absolutely lunging it up and half the time ending in a spin or in the wall.
Oh, Lichtsteiner has to
down
defend.
to 18th. He's lost 11 positions doing that.
Wow. He's at a BMW, so you'd hope he'd have the pace to catch back up. But you never really know.
Yeah,
exactly. Any given session, it generally tends to swing one way or another.
I mean, the BMWs look quick. They had the first 4 in qualifying.
Yeah, they broke 2 upgrades just for this day. Oh,
Absolute
Bisons.
train Volkswagens here. One of them is an Audi. Oh, side by side. Not too
Oh,
bad.
what? Oh, just looking behind, Lindvist is just
Leicester's
sat
doing
there.
What's happened to Avenue? He's dropped back a few places as well. Because he was up in third just a while ago. Now he's down
Whoa!
to sixth.
So we're about to have an incident after we get out the replay. Let's see what's happened here.
Oh, Babinus made a
Gets
mistake.
caught.
Bit wide.
Car just slipped away from him.
Barajin made it to
So
overtakes.
makes contact with Mendes, does he?
It just doesn't have the run.
Leicester dive balling it.
Yeah, now they are fighting each other and losing a lot of time.
Goodness. Yeah. Big bit of contact there. But,
Yeah,
oh, big
a
bit of
lot of
contact again.
contact.
Doesn't seem like there's too much damage to Leicester though. Oh, there seems to be a little bit on one of the rear right quarter panels, I think.
Now, yeah,
Oh,
bit of
I thought
aggressive
Leicester was
move.
going to flip then. Can't lie. Gets away with it though.
Very good landing. Oh, Ezio's been bumped out of the way.
Now, and Christian Order fighting. And also Perez started from 18. Now in 12th position and also in point scoring position.
Oh, Torres pulling out there. Having a look at Perez, I think. But no, just falling back in line.
Cordoval 2.5 second gap to Corleone.
I thought Corleone was going to lead.
Oh,
There it is.
Something big's
Turn
happened
1.
there.
car slips. Oh! And then
He would
nearly
have gone
takes out
fully.
Cordova.
He would have fully gone around there if it had not been pulled over. But I'm really surprised neither of them have suffered big damage. If that was a little bit different, that would have been both their races completely done.
Well, we'll see what damage they sustained when the pit stops come around.
Definitely, but it doesn't seem there is too much visual damage. But anything can. There's so
So
many
underneath the
bits
hood
and
is
pieces in these cars. They can.
yeah.
Smallest nudge can cause a big accident. There we go. Torres making an absolute lunge at Perez.
Oh
Now
my god.
Perez is around.
Perez tried to replicate his
Huge
teammate, it would appear. Anything you can do, I can do better. I think was the message there.
And Perez clearly hit one of the Balticus car.
Wonder if there's
He's
something
got
with the
to see.
Car then, because that's the second time at that corner.
I think some of these drivers are just trying to push it a little bit too hard to get that little bit extra late on the brakes, a little bit extra speed for the corners, and they're just pushing it so much
Yeah,
they
I
just
don't.
rip.
Ooh.
Oh, that massive.
Yellow
Something
flags.
happens. Oh,
Oh.
There's a
someone's
car
found
up in
them.
the back.
It's a
I think that's
platinum
one
car.
of the platinum guys. Yeah, Nikolaev.
So what's happened to Nikolaev?
Fighting with Conor Ryan. slowing down here because of Perez.
There we go. Goes into the corner. Lucky for the move on line.
Down the inside.
A very
Just
similar
takes too
incident.
much in and goes around.
Then gets eaten up
Drivers
by
are pushing it today.
Barajin is now falling back into Babenux and Leicester.
Honda's really not with it. I'm surprised he managed to qualify this well, but he's just not. The car underneath him just not got the pace. Same with Chevrolet and Renault from qualifying. Those three cars just had absolutely nothing to take on the Audis, the Volkswagens, and the BMWs. All German cars, coincidentally.
Well, the Germans and the Germans tend to be quite good at building cars. So actually, no, the extra efficiency, gets them the extra power. So
Oh, Dr. Roda is on the grass.
Madsen got held up a bit there.
Yeah, and she had up Madison now. Maybe Lindquist making a move.
Oh, Leicester's past Babigny.
mm,
And Madsen's gone wide there. And I think Smith is going to have a go at Madsen.
Ooh.
Right round the outside, perhaps.
this is gonna be a cracking battle for 10th.
And Lindquist takes the place. And Torres now trying to get in on the fun.
It's a bit loose under Babenux.
He seems to have lost a lot of pace since qualifying. Poor Sarton just can't keep up with the rest at the moment.
And maybe if you qualify for pole position, you get the curse. Because none of the pole position drivers won a race so far.
If there's any damage.
Might be.
Ezio catching. Could make a lunge, but the reigning champion stays behind Dyson. Leicester's all over Balazit now. Ezio went a bit wide. Slow down, Rodal's trying to. No.
Maybe Roda will try to attack into
Got a long straight now. Try to slipstream as he. Rodal's right down the outside, inside side. But just surprised that it didn't really turn out different.
Madison, maybe Torres gone past Lindquist.
Water pass on the outside by link to it. But fighting is going to slow them down. And Torres is trying to follow through. And that's left him open, vulnerable to Zimmerman. of side by side here. The drivers on the outside seem to have got the run.
Now Singh also joined the battle.
Torres is going to have to back out there. He hasn't. They're banging and bumping and banging. He's lost out to Singh now. But it will have the inside. I can't believe they're trying to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett. And he's not worked it, but Lorenzo has seemed to have made an effort to take through the complex.
Wow.
Quite brilliant racing. Oh, mad as an absolute lunge. Oh, below loose on the exit, but yeah, lost the time there. Can't
Zimmerman
continue fighting.
attacking Madison.
Zimmerman's just making up places by taking advantage of all these fights. Lundqvist is vulnerable here. And Zimmerman's going up the inside, but no. Really late braking by Lundqvist. There's his pass
4.3
score,
seconds.
Mendes now up to second. Will he be fast? Will he be able to catch up to Cordova?
There was building a huge gap. It's 5 seconds now. As Mendes made a mistake. Corlan is back into second place.
Presumably just overcooked into turn one. Bit of damage on the front right there. Yep. Nice catch though.
And easy overtake for Corleone.
Mendes and I think Mendes and Leicester are going to try and get a run down here. Mendes having a look, but I don't think he's going to do it. Nope, no, I'm
He's trying it.
okay. To race up the inside, and he's loose and he's lost out there. And I think Leicester's done the same thing because he's also dropped it back a bit from Balazin. And Babin is going to have a look now. And the Frenchman is up into fifth.
Bison is catching up.
Yes.
Quite surprised it's not been there's not been many major accidents or anything so far. Because there tends to be a fair few at some of the faster tracks, faster complexes.
Mendes made a mistake again.
A little wide on exit, but still fast enough to defend from Balazin.
Maybe Mendes got too much damage to control it into turn 1, of course. Now,
We're gonna have a look.
Leicester, maybe.
Not down here. But if he gets a good exit, maybe down the inside here. No, very cautious by Leicester. Logins drop back a bit. Oh, Mendes.
Oh,
He's looking for
Having a look there. You can't really ever take down the inside there unless you're properly gonna barge your way through. Cordova's now got a 6-second lead.
Yeah, I think Cordova can only lose this race in the pit.
Only now just coming onto lap 10 and already a 6-second lead. You having a look?
They are really close now. Maybe an overtake. Into stove.
Rosin's got a good exit. Oh. Back down here. Off going for it. Oops. Someone up ahead going up the inside. I think it was Mendes trying to have a go at Golly on. And now second through to 7th for all in one. Massive train. Oh, Mendes got a bit loose, a bit wide, and Balashin's trying to have a piece of him.
Machine attacking for the podium.
Abano.
Got the inside. Oh, Mendes massively deep, and he's half spun there. Babney's going to try to go around the side. Leicester wants to follow through. Mendes lost.
What is this?
2 places there.
Right. Oh,
they're so loose. And Leicester's down the inside, and so Bison and Rodal's trying to do the same. And Rodal's now going to get Bison.
And Mendes.
Although Bison's not the inside, Leicester's lost a load of time.
What?
Leicester and Bison side
This
by
is
side.
a complete and utter mess. I love it.
Bison's trying to go for it.
Bison's through.
Leicester's very slow off the exits of some of these turns.
Wonder if he's got some damage, I don't know.
Well, on the rear right, there's a bit of bodywork damage, but other than that, it doesn't look too much. Just not.
That's when it's been banged or something. Could be that potentially the gearbox inside has been banged and damaged in some way.
Potentially it's a setup issue. Could just be understeering at exits. Losing a bit of time trying to correct it.
He's gaining now.
Oh, the road all looking at the inside, but you can't ever take down the inside there.
Ventura and that was Lindquist, I think, are now catching up to them. Yeah. Zinnemann and Madison also swapped position.
Lindquist Mencio in the background. And he's passed.
Now Lindquist can go further. 2 Volkswagen up ahead. Maybe the Ventura tried to fight back.
Zimmerman went a bit wide. Well, Madison's all over the back of him. Will he have a path? Surprised he had to brake so early there.
Rodell, maybe.
Oh,
But you can't make it round down the inside there. It's the outside line just so much faster.
7.5 second lead now for Corleone or Cordova.
And only on lap 13. Absolutely dominating. For such a competitive series, this is absolutely dominating by Cordova.
definitely a half. Yeah, but we've seen if you could just stay out of traffic and you keep putting in the lap times, it becomes an 8 second lead. We've seen it so many times this season.
There's going to be a slow exit in Babniard alert. Lyson's joining the party. And he's going to have a look up the inside of Avenue. And he's already through before the corner.
Wow.
Avenue must have issues.
I'd assume quite big issues because that BMW is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line. And he's gone wide. Avenue is.
You said that by this point in the race there'd be a Drake racing car clear by 8 seconds at the front. You wouldn't afford it to be pulled over. That's all I'm saying. Really, Bavino. Bavino is now down in 6th. Incredible.
Yeah, Cordova is dominating from 4th position in the grid.
Let's just have a really strong race set up. Because even avoiding the traffic, Corleone's not even been involved in too many fights. He's just dropped back that much simply on how fast Cordova is. So, how far back is Mendez? Oh, Vicens having a go at Mendez.
Oh.
4.5 seconds back from Belluzine.
Babignon is the inside line. Babignon is now.
He's going to have the inside here.
Ooh, much later.
Like again,
braking.
Rodals lunged it in as well, and Torres in the back. It's not worked out for Rodal. Oh, linked
Babin's,
this.
Oh,
Papinu's off. And he's
Oh,
hit
popping up
Rodal.
Royal.
Babinu just... What has
Massively off.
happened?
Falling apart.
Babinu. What?
We've seen people go deep there, but that's
Taking deep
incredibly
to a
deep.
whole new definition. He sent it to Pluto and back.
Oh,
And now he's going to get
Lorenzo
caught
now.
up in the ever-competitive
SEO.
midfield.
Oh, drivers. It looks like they are trying to
Oh,
overtake into
What?
Page.
he's lost it again. Lost it again, lost a load of time. Load of positions, he's down to 11.
He might not even score, but has he got he must have a problem with the car. There is no way he hasn't got an issue. You don't go from pole to 11th without an issue.
Torres and Bonaventura also.
It's just been mistakes.
Look at this. Yeah, but even look now, there's no pace in the car.
Torres through. SEO looks to be.
Down to 12th. It might be 13th in a minute.
Oh, they're really sending it into the side of each other. Not the teammates are side by side in the back wheel, Lorenzo and Zimmerman. SEO can't get Babinho.
Zimmerman is now ahead.
Run, but Lorenzo's now on the slipstream. Is he going to send it on his teammate?
Ooh,
And he's got a bit loose.
it was a risky move on your teammate.
Oh, linked fist is passing. And he's lost out a little bit there.
Fighting back, and Torres also joining.
I'm surprised Singh's. I'm surprised Singh's there. He was absolutely nowhere. Now he's suddenly past linked fist, Torres, Babinho.
Yeah, Sainz did start 15th. Not exactly nowhere, but not exactly far.
Ooh. So really aggressive.
Right for 10th.
And the previous
And
laps.
Babinho's going to want a piece of linked fist. He's going to try to get the run around the outside of Torres. I think he's going to have him all, but made a bit of contact there. Torres still having a look, but just gone back in there. Oh, I think that's SEO having a little peek at Babinho. Four different constructors fighting out the 10th.
Ooh,
Oh,
Torres.
Torres! Something's on for Torres. I think he's retiring. Oh, Angelino Torres.
Oh my.
Something's broke on his car and he's pulled to the side.
Wow.
I'm sure Babinho will be joining him soon.
What rotten luck.
Interesting.
Having a decent little scrap in the midfield, and then
Well, we know the pace of these Volkswagens, but it just didn't seem like he had anything ready to fight with, and he's just... Something's just gone wrong there.
suspension would be my
Yeah,
first.
surely.
Coming across a big curb like that.
Torres is out again.
Our first retirement of the race. And that's
Actually
going to
quite
put him
surprising that.
going to put him in a terrible position for race 2.
How many
particularly have a
incidents
world-class
we've had. I'm a
qualifying
bit shocked.
anyways.
It's taken us till lap 16 to get a first retirement. It's quite impressive, to be honest.
Teammates fighting. Thompson passed and die. And that's arguably the cleanest overtake we've seen down there always.
Rodriguez is the best Chevrolet. 16. It's horrible weekend so far for them.
It's all gone wrong for Chevrolet this weekend. They're right at the back. And Boucher, what a turn of events. The first win of the season just fallen into
I mean, yeah.
oblivion. Absolute.
After the first round of the season, we were thinking we might genuinely have a big upset for the title, but I don't think she's done anything. So
No.
I think that was just a race where the gods bestowed down on her. Because since then, the car has just been nothing.
Well, you say that. We've seen some Renaults up near the top. It's just been including her teammate.
Not.
So she had the pace the first race, but it's completely just
maybe she was just a one race fluke. I don't know, but
maybe Fuji's a strong track.
Don't know. We'll see next year, won't we?
If Boucher still is right next
well,
year.
Yeah, there's that.
If you win one race and spend the rest down in 23rd, I don't particularly think someone's going to want to keep you on.
You never know. That one race where she decides to shot could be the difference between maybe like 6th or 7th in the standings, whatever number you want to chuck in there.
Oh, they've absolutely lunged it in. And Ryan's like,
slotting in.
I do see your point when you're saying might be valuable. Perez, Firmino. Think of the fact these drivers are going at each other and I'll be able to finish my points. And Perez is through. Yeah.
It's actually a bit surprising how far down Perez.
With someone like Boucher, that one win's gonna do a lot. But ultimately, if you score no more points in the season, would a team rather have someone who scores twice as many points but doesn't win, or someone who wins once and then spends the rest of the season down the back of the field?
I mean, it's about this series is you can't just focus on one race where you did well. There are many good drivers. Just because you won one race does not mean you are part of that group. I don't know. I just think
nearly a 9-second lead for Cordova.
Oh my god. Cordova is just
another 1.5 seconds.
Corleo did second. Meanwhile, Perez is their 20th. It's incredible.
I'm surprised the Hondas kept up there.
Yeah,
especially since how slow it was at the start of the race and all.
Well, speaking of the Hondas, there was Balazan nearly spinning out of the race.
I was about to praise the Hungarian for his performance, but clearly that was 4 times.
Commentator's curse nearly coming in now.
Yeah, Balazan has been doing a great job.
Bison doing a great. It's Madison.
Mendes very slow. Something happened to Mendes. He got several cars past him.
That might be a case of papanoitis. We'll wait and see. Don't know. Madison clearly tried to take a different approach to that corner. To go on a road trip, but quickly realised this isn't the time for that.
Well,
that's what happened to Mendes.
Massively off into the gravel, even.
Looked like the car just didn't slow down. That's why Madison had to go wide. It was either go wide or smash into the back of Mendes.
And does a
Mendes
touch the rudder, I think.
Yeah, and they T-boned Rodel.
This is setting up to be a really interesting race because I get the feeling we're going to see a lot of cars pitting in with repairs to do as well, based on how this race has gone.
A lot of cars have damage up front.
Who knows? We might just see a car that's been operating in the midfield but keeping their nose clean just shoot up to lead.
Interestingly enough, Ezio and Madison, the two teammates, have kept themselves very clean. They've not got much damage.
Who
Whereas the
knows? We
likes
might even
of
see like a Boucher from like
well,
20th fly up into like the podium spots.
well, the Renault of Linked Fist has also kept it clean, but most of the front runners got some kind of damage on their bodywork or something else. So
Limvis has kept it
we
clean,
can
but
definitely
not
see.
really been quick.
Well, I'd argue that's probably been the case for most of the season with Linked Fist.
Yeah, but at
Not
least
the
Limvis earlier on in the season
quickest
had
driver,
pace.
but
See,
for
under
the
pressure
most part,
from Babino and Bonaventura.
I don't particularly think these Renaults have had too many upgrades, but Linked Fist has just been one of those drivers who sits back.
Perfect midfield driver,
Lindqvist is second in the standings.
able to
Yeah,
So
keep
very much.
scoring points, and we
only
don't know how.
championship.
Well, it's quite clear keeping your nose
I mean,
clean.
the
I
Renault
don't think I've seen Linked Fist really damage the car so far this season. So
really enforcing the social distancing rules with the other competitors, really. 2 meters and all that. Because nobody hits them.
pit stop should be happening soon.
Yeah. And that's where the fun really begins.
Ballard seems caught up a little bit to Coolio.
Bison and fourth.
Really in the middle of nowhere.
Ryzen is
Then
having a
you've
good
got
race.
I mean, to be fair, the two MV Racing cars have done a very good job. Started 8th and 10th, and now they're into 4th and 6th. So I'm fully expecting one of them to spin out now that I've said that.
It's been very interesting because the two Envy cars have been absolute rocket ships, but the other Volkswagens just been really, for the most part, making errors or falling back. Not
We'll
really
have the
having
pace of an
as much
actual
pace.
wagon. Oh,
to spread out a little bit.
right. Well, if you mess this up after the praise I gave to you, I'm not going to be very impressed.
Ooh,
Oh,
some riding the curb there.
a lot of errors this race. They're really pushing the limits.
I'd like to say something. We give praise to people like Lindvis for keeping their nose clean in game positions, but Singh has done that a couple of times this season. Started down the order and then gained ground. Started 15th today and is now in the top 10. So,
You say that, but overall, his results have been much better of the two. His Linktvist has been in arguably the slower car of the two, and he's currently second in the championship. And I don't even where he's even sitting in the championship.
I think it's 21st. 6 points.
well, still ahead of about a couple of drivers. Normally those that hide in the back, but you know.
Ryzen is 9th with scoring points in every race.
Wow.
And Christopherson also in the points again. Can continue his 4th race streak with points.
Ooh,
Heavy contact
Mendes
there.
very wide. It's been contact. Just that straight line speed of the BMWs.
He's
Keeps
now
them ahead.
pulling back into the split stream.
Was actually very shocked. I look at the standings. David Lester hasn't got a point this season. I found that very shocking. But I suppose that's what happens when reliability and whatnot.
Leicester, Mendes is making mistakes, no mistake.
I was saying that if reliability fixed up, Leicester could win the championship, but
Predictions aging not so well.
yeah.
I think this is the thing we've seen with Stoffel Autosport is they've quite like last season. They're a very frustrating team. At one moment, they're fighting up front. You think they can win
Oh,
races.
looks like
You think
Corley. Okay, looks like
next moment one of their drivers has spun or the engine's blown up.
basically the series equivalent of Renault from a Formula One, if you will. Got pace, but reliability and other issues have led to them being slightly on the back foot in comparison to their rivals.
Pretty much.
Also, looks like we're about to get the pit stop, so let's see what this leads to.
Balazin's up to second, and Corleone's had a little half spin as well.
And Bison's on the back of Corleone, but they're all going to be pitting now, so see. Make it bet who's going to be in the lead after the pit stops.
Hate to be boring, but I think it's going to be a Cordova.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Cordova has like a massive issue with the car. I mean, I doubt it, given 11-second lead in that. But you never know with this series.
You do never know. But he has kept it clean, giving himself every possible chance not to cause some damage.
Yeah, Nomura lost the 40-second lead in the endurance race, in the pit stop. So anything can happen here.
Cool. Our leader's into the pits.
Right.
Is anyone else going
If Cordova gets a good stop, then it's over.
Yeah, it's Pelagin, Corleone, Bison, Lester.
Yeah, they're all pitting.
It's easier to say who will not come in, but everyone is coming in.
So much for the diverse strategies.
Everyone is in the pits. I really hope they will not push each other in
So
the
let's see how this spices up the order.
All this traffic in the pit lane. If you've got a pit box at the beginning of it and you get it done, some of the cars at the back of the field could hold you up a bit.
Right, so there goes Cordova. So the race is over.
I've seen Balazin get dropped down, but I don't think he can get past the passing traffic.
Oh my god, what is...
No.
It's a bloody conga line in the pits here.
Oh.
Corleone
taken back second.
Balazin was having a...
Madison has jumped up to 4.
He did get very clean.
Bison lost out.
Sings and
what did I say about Sing?
7th.
There's
Bonaventura.
Festus has come from the depths of nowhere.
Having an absolute nightmare.
Oh my.
Lichtsteiner, Zimmerman,
Nikolaev overtaking the pit lane.
Where's Nikolaev come from? Oh my god.
I think he was overtaking in the pit.
I love this pit lane. It really is a case of if you get held up in traffic, it's over for you. Right.
I think you may have.
Oh!
That's clear.
Hang on, has he actually crossed the white line before he's done so?
Oh, he's overtaken in the pit lane there.
And then nearly sent him for the Walnut.
Uh,
I'm not mistaken. Got to check this before I get it wrong and offend someone.
He's just slowed down for Lichtsteiner and he's Nicholas taking the opportunity.
well, yeah, but you
Yep.
can't really
Nikolaev is
overtake in the-
Russian, so it would appear that all Russian drivers just or sorry, the majority of Russian drivers just seem to lack the ability of knowing when or not to overtake.
Yeah, it's an overtake before the white
Look at that,
line.
what's he doing? Zimmerman nearly murdered, look. Horrible driving.
But,
This isn't junior category, you can't do that anymore. Shocking.
I will say. Someone who's had an absolutely goodness appalling pit stop has been Leicester. I think he's been commentator's curse there because he did mention he hasn't scored.
This.
Iskandar at
Right,
13
if
beat
David Lester
Ryan.
goes the entire season without a point, then he has to be the most unlucky driver in the history of WTCL. Surely, there's not a hope in hell he's not.
Surely not.
Boucher in the points.
Gained
Up to
8
50.
places in the pit stops, Boucher.
Head of
There we
Bruno
go.
Flamino.
Leicester. And
Lester
Rodel had a
Roller
terrible
and
start.
Mendes.
Oh my god. Oh, well, I cursed both of them, didn't I? I cursed Modal and Lester. Brilliant.
Oh,
Just brilliant.
Perez.
huh,
Lorenzo. A lot of these drivers didn't look like they had that
Barbinu.
damage.
Oh, but
First
can
place.
they just retire? Can they just retire Babino? Just
Horrible.
end the race for Babino. How's he gone from pole to 24? Pole to 24.
So now Cordoba with 16 seconds.
Gained 5 seconds in the pit lane. Goodness sake. Well,
Look at how far ahead Cordova is. Oh my word.
I don't think we're going to see any changes in the lead this one.
I'll put the. You heard it there. Commentator's curse. We're gonna have a new race winner other than Cordova. So let's see who's gonna win the race other than Cordova. It'll probably be like some driver that we've never heard of and has not been mentioned at all this race, like Guido Firmino or something.
You get someone in the background like Kim who just cuts off the course and takes the.
Just takes the scenic route.
Yeah, going on the national
Right side.
circuit. Cutting the half of the track.
I mean, since it's the British Grand Prix, shouldn't it be like they just get like Madison or whatever? Like Hartley course.
I'm not actually too sure which drivers are which nationality. I think Leicester's British.
Yeah, he is.
This race is sponsored to you by the WTCL Hub. A great place to look up things that you're never going to need to remember. Unless you commentate. I'll figure this out. Using today's sponsor.
Zimmerman now. I think this is the
Like, so we got Madison, he's British.
Madison is British, Leicester is British, Ryan is Irish.
Irish and British are two completely different things. Daring to say that
Yeah.
Irish is British might generally get you murdered in parts of the world I can't like.
I know, that just came up to my mind that if Ryan is British or Irish. But
It's gonna be a fun old time, isn't it? It's fine, we'll just get Madison to like cut the course.
oh, Hennes is
Then he wins the
Irish.
British Grand Prix. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Trevarian is also British. And that's all.
Talking about Madison, his contract is up at the end of the season.
He's doing press and he's in fourth, so I guess he's doing that.
Lorenzo's out of the contract as well at the end of the season.
Mm.
And so is Wolfgang Weissen, actually.
I don't think that'll be the case for too much longer. I'd be shocked if Bison didn't keep their seat.
Corleone, out of the contract at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Hackinson.
Last year's runner-up.
Both Ironside drivers. Or Christopherson Lichtsteiner. And so is Kim Woon Jae. And also David Lester, who's only signed on a 1-year contract.
So, and you can find out this and more with today's sponsor, the WTCL Hub.
Nicola Evans now side by side.
Oh, looks like we're going to get some on-track action. Is Nikolaev going to learn their lesson on how to overtake?
What I'm quite surprised about with this race is with the others, you generally tend to have the overall pack quite close to each other, and you tend to, if something went wrong at one point, you'd have 5 other cars enter the equation, whereas this one, it's probably split out. Like, at this point, the race, by the time the race ends, the leader's probably going to be closer to lapping the last car than he's going to be to second place.
Not lie, based on how this race has gone, it genuinely would not shock me in any reality if Cordova was in Wales and the others were in England right now. I can't lie. They're a man on a mission. Absolute rocket.
Well, they're saying that he's lost 1.5 seconds to Corleone since the pit stop.
Oh no, whatever would he do? He only has a 14-second lead.
But last lap, Cordova was faster.
14.8. 14, nearly 15-second lead. It's going to be a close one, this.
Oh, slide there. 4 laps to go now for Cordova.
Yep. Madison with the fastest lap of the race. Ooh. So Britain will be able to claim they won something here. 1:54.1. I mean, wow, that's not questionable how fast that is. I can't find.
Madison has had a fairly good race, coming up from 9th to 4th. Kept it generally clean, a bit quiet though.
Sometimes being a bit quiet wins you points in this thing. I mean, look at Barigno. Started on pole, got a bad start, got caught up in scuffling, and now they're not even in the top 20, I don't think. I can't think of a more disappointing performance than Barigno this race. I can't lie.
I will also say, Edvard Christopherson started 24th, and I think he's now up to 8th.
Casual 16 places gained, just half the field, really. Albeit probably aided by the fact that most of the field has had issues, but, you know.
To be fair, a lot of
the
positions he gained were actually at the start of the race, to be fair. Brought himself into the points fight and probably gained a few more in the pit lane, but generally, overall, very good, if not under the radar, effort from Christopher's.
Look at Bruno Firmino in 16. I remember when we all thought Bruno Firmino was going to be like this. And yet, I was unaware. I don't think it's actually done. So that's interesting. But what do I know?
He has been
There's a lot of
disappointing.
good drivers on this grid who've just had absolutely shocking performances.
In the top 16, oh, maybe except this battle, there aren't any close battles now.
Things build a gap to link this. The Venice seems to be struggling.
Struggling. Or sandbagging. Probably not sandbagging. Because this is a pretty. Could be there. Never underestimate just how shit house some constructors will be. I like to say, seeing sixth. So I at least didn't curse someone.
You can never be too sure.
Nah, no, my luck will bit it out of the final quarter, the final lap. Just so I can't claim this.
Half the field that we praised ends up breaking down in the last lap, and then someone nobody comes through to it.
Oh, and it's Marriott for sure to win the race by 7 laps. Is that Cordova going slowly?
It wouldn't be the last time that someone's car's broken down on the last lap after such a performance.
I mean, surely driver of the day has to go to Cordova just for this race alone. End of debate. 15-second lead. He's driving the French Grand Prix. They're all driving the British Grand Prix. Absolute violence.
These two have to be very careful because otherwise Madison is right there to pounce on either of them if they make a mistake.
And he also has a boost. He's British, which means he'll get a convenient overtake in the final laps, probably, for the podium.
If he can catch up.
That's if he, to be fair. I mean, if they spin each other out up ahead, then you never know, really.
Oh, Balajin is really close.
No, the race leader has started the last lap of this race. Balajin's getting a run. Madison's now on the back of these two as well.
Oh, here we go. What did I say?
Let's see that easy overtake.
Convenient overtake for the British podium.
Balajin. Oh, a little bit of contact there.
And Madison just
completely barged his way up the inside of Balajin.
I called it. I've called it. Please don't break down, please.
Let's see if you can stay in first position in the last
What a drive this would be from Benjamin Madison. Ninth on the grid, gets a podium in his home race.
Ooh, Balajin is really slow.
Madison just driving.
Barely dropped back there.
I think Madison is set for a podium unless he spins it. Oh no, what have I just done? Hey, what, he's caught up to Corleone as well. Just chucked it in which makes the final lap.
Yeah, last sector coming up.
But look, the question is, could Madison catch Cordova? It's not out of the question. He's only got to find 16 seconds in about 4 corners.
Coming around
I
the
don't think
final corner of
Madison
the
can
race.
catch.
And with drama everywhere, but
Half.
the winner,
Brilliant driving by Cordova.
winning
To win.
by about 12 laps in the end, I think.
16 seconds.
Or, hang on, we might have a fight for second here. Coming out the final corner. No, I think Corleone's got this.
Finishes second. Benjamin Madison at his home Grand Prix will finish third. Baljean's somehow managed to drop off 2 seconds in the
Britt's
last
got a podium,
5.
so
Bison's fifth. Sorry.
Sixth.
Singh is
And
6th.
Lindvish just scores points again in 7th.
Well, I
Bonaventura is in
Lindquist might be the first
the
position.
9th. Lichtsteiner 10th. Zimmerman 11th. Nikolaev 12th.
Okay,
Kolevaster spinning.
and
Iskander, who I don't know how he got into 13th, but
Yeah,
he's
same with
in
Ryan.
13th.
I
Ryan
mean, he
Feeling
got into
it.
13th by overtaking drivers, I'd assume.
Well,
Feeling
that's not it.
Feeling of
Firmino's
scoring his
taken
first points.
I mean,
15th, so
Iskander started 23rd, so to get points is something special, I guess.
has gone past Bush, yeah.
And Mariette Bush, the most overrated driver on the grid, is not going to score points again. A one-way wonder. So I'm fully expecting her to win the sprint race now. Now that I said that.
He will start from
Could be.
first position.
And now the
And,
last drivers on the grid are now coming across the line
the
about a
wheel.
millennium
Big
later.
scrap for the
From the
Oh, hang on, we might have a battle for 30th here. Up towards the line. Vanderlyn just gets over a DA. The final placing.
and fastest lap by
This
Madison.
is. I mean, the winner was predictable from a long way out, but you never really knew at any point who was going to get second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth.
I
But
think this result will have Corleone take the lead of the championship.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Mendez is on 62. Was on 62 coming into this. Linkfist was on 62, and Corleone
Yeah.
was 58.
Right, so
Yeah, it's Corleone. Will be taking the lead of the standings.
what about Lindvis has not scored a podium, I don't think, this season, but is second in the standings. In fact,
Portico
interestingly,
was
coming into this,
15th
none of the
coming.
top 3 in standings had won a race. That is interesting.
Yeah, and Mendes didn't score a point.
Just
Uh,
goes
yeah,
to
Mendes
show,
time.
really, how consistency is a virtue. And if you can get it, you've got a good chance of winning this year's standings. If Lindvis could just gets like a podium or two, he will probably win the series now. I can't lie.
That's a second podium for Audi. So
Look at that. I mean, we were expecting the BMWs to dominate. They got 1-2. Then Audi, Honda, Volkswagen, Volkswagen, Renault, Audi.
A
yeah,
lot
it's
more of a mix in the manufacturers in the points.
Yeah.
Well, Chevrolet's not had a good time this weekend.
No, I mean, looking at the overall standings for the season, it's not been the best of seasons for Chevrolet.
well, they got
Tied with Renault coming into this, but I don't think they'll be tied with Renault coming out of this.
Chevrolet got 4 podiums so far. But yeah, overall, it's usually one driver who's carrying the team, the others fighting the back. But now none of the drivers were in up front. Yeah, also it's Torres had a suspension failure.
I was actually quite shocked there was only one retirement in that race, given how many bangs and spins there were. I was expecting there to be at least about 20.
To be fair, we probably were expecting half the grid to end up on their roofs.
Yeah, it was a bit surprising. But I guess they were a bit more clean than we thought. I don't know, but maybe that just goes to show how strong this year's cars are. Like bulletproof.
I'm very surprised because we saw in Suzuka and Fuji and Bathurst that when these cars get hit, you generally tend to see them losing, entire front bumpers and stuff. In this race, we've just seen a couple of dents on the sides, so very surprised they kept in one piece for the most part.
Maybe there's been some safety developments. Maybe it was too expensive to keep replacing the bumpers, so they just got super glue. I don't know.
Yeah, this hasn't got that high curbs, but maybe
I think we could probably argue this track is a bit more conservative than Fuji or Suzuka or Bathurst, to be fair. So I think it's probably part of the reason the cars haven't tended to roll over or have their cars rattled into retirement.
there were some spins.
Also, not as many mechanical failures, interestingly.
I'm surprised we didn't see any engine or brake failures, seeing as
Maybe
the
they got maybe
straightaways.
like to be fair, they've had a break to just get on top of that. So very likely that reliability has been looked into for a lot of the teams.
Now we'll be definitely hoping that this is a good sign of things to come. And hopefully this is not me commentators cursing.
Well, we'll see on the sprint race after half the field has engine issues now.
We will see in the reverse grid race.
Hold on. Which position is reverse grid pole?
It's 16, so it's Boucher in.
Wait, what?
And Firmino
Oh
alongside.
no. Right, come on, Firmino. Oh, wait, no, it's Boucher and Firmino on the front row. Oh, no.
And Ryan is
The two drivers I said have done nothing. Oh, no. Oh, and Nikolaev is fifth. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, Boucher and
Probably
Firmino kept
same.
it clean.
Nikolaev is fifth's going to absolutely dive from half the field out at turn one. Or just like paint it like a pit wall.
Definitely Nikolaev, probably favourite.
I'll tell you what, Lindvis, even in the reverse grid, it's going to start 10th. Lindvis is just the definition of consistently average. Just always like 10th to 5th.
Well, ultimately, consistency worked out for Lindvis because I believe he's still second coming out of.
I have no idea. We'll get them. We'll get the people that are actually paid to calculate that stuff. I assume. Or they just have some sort of fetish with maths. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't particularly think anyone's getting paid for the numbers.
You never know. Could be good.
I mean, we're not being paid.
Could lead to a career in accounting.
I mean, if anyone wants to give us money to do that, go on then. I'm not going to complain. Oh dear. surprisingly calm. I say that despite the fact every other corner someone was bodying.
Oh,
the
and that's
car.
another guy gone. It's just I'm interested when we watch this race back. Just do a drinking game and have a shot every time someone spun their car. I wonder how long you'd actually make it.
Make it to lap 3.
What?
I think that's the
You get to the end of the race and you're in the emergency room. Not that I'm encouraging drinking, by the way. No, yeah, there it's.
I think for the amount of spins and crashes and the fact we're
Clearly,
looking back on it now saying that it was comparatively less hectic than the other races, I think says something
a lot.
about the series so far.
That's the thing, these cars weigh a lot, so the tiniest of bumps could cause the slightest of weight shifts and then gone. The rear has a bit more force in the front. Round it goes.
These cars don't have
They're like
that
teacups.
much downforce. The little wings on the back of the splitters, they help a bit, but comparatively, they've got absolutely nothing. So when it could be a difference of half a mile an hour between you making the turn or you ending up off in the gravel traps or facing half the field coming down on you.
It is, I mean, so many spins and bumps and knocks and whatnot. This is going to be a very fun sprint race.
Indeed.
By the way, I'd like to point out what happened to Babino today.
Where did he finish in the end? I think we saw him last 24th.
Like 24th.
We're still looking down. 24th, first to 20. That
Get the last to wear challenge. This is the first to wear challenge.
He didn't do a good enough job. He only ended up 24th. He should have got.
It should have
dead
ended up.
last.
Should have been fighting with a DA at the end.
It's huge inconsistency.
I just don't know what happened to Babino. Started on pole, looked set to win the race, and then dropped down. Okay, fight for the podium, and then the pit stops came, and everything just went wrong.
I mean, it was so going on before. You know, a couple of mistakes, and he ended up down. I think.
Like once you end up in the midfield, it's an absolute mess. Because when you get down to the midfield, there is so many cars ready to dive bomb you at any opportunity. And Lindquist will just be like sat there, just stalking you, waiting for you to go wide.
I will say, I'm very surprised by the fact this race we had these cars lunging up the inside, and even though some of them did spin and slow each other up, comparatively, the inside lines were working for overtaking. Because usually we end up seeing someone lunge up the inside and then so slow on the exit, and whoever's on the outside just speeds off. Whereas this race, there was actually some variation in what lines actually worked for overtaking.
But yeah, just I don't know. Babino just had a bad race. Just nothing went right, and the start from pole and ended up in 24th though. Did he like the engine?
Undoubtedly, I think you probably say it has to be the worst performance in the season. I don't think we're gonna.
I don't.
I don't want the commentators curse this.
Oh, and this is Babino coming around to win the sprint race by 15 seconds.
But I can't see there being a worse performance this season. I can't see it.
Well, we'll wait and see, won't we, for DA to start on pole or whatever. Or somehow Hennessy flukes his way into pole.
It will probably be something ridiculous. We probably have someone like Mendes nabbing the pole again and ending up 31st somehow. It wouldn't be.
I mean, yeah, Mendes has been interesting this season.
Yeah, Mendes.
So many times Mendes shows promise in qualifying. And then nowhere.
Where did he actually finish this? He wasn't.
What actually happened to Mendes? Where did Mendes?
20th.
Did he start like third?
I think he did.
Oh my, yeah, I mean, my point proven. Mendes qualifies well, but in the race has no pace. I don't know.
He has the pace. He just ends up smashing his car to bits.
He is, this series is Pastor Maldonado, if you will. Undoubtedly quick, but has a tendency to do interesting things.
I feel that's probably the most accurate thing that we're ever going to commentate for this series.
Well, now that we said that, I'm just going to go and make sure that Mendes doesn't win the sprint race. But it won't, now that I said that, to be fair.
I mean, at this point, who even knows of this series?
At this point, O'Hennessy might still win the series. Why not? We get O'Hennessy to win the title. You heard it here, guys. The title next year in WTCL 2, or whatever it's going to be called. Maybe. I don't know.
I think I saw something saying about doing GT3 and GT4.
Yeah.
I think that was an April
I'd like,
Fool,
but
but
it's
I mean, if we're doing that, essentially we're just going to be watching half the field being lapped by lap 3 or something.
so essentially we're going to get a case of the British F3 and the British F3 national class here.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Where basically the national class could be won by absolute donkeys such as Rodolfo Gonzalez. Purely because they were able to finish midfield. And no, this isn't me calling him like a donkey because he's like black or whatever you like Twitter users. A donkey is he's actually slower than Wigan or Hennessy or whatever.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if.
Is there like a second curse? Is there like a second driver curse at Leicester Motorsport, by the way? Because Lindvis has just done well and had to be last year, Hennessy this year.
Who even is your second driver? I'm not quite sure.
I think you mean Leicester's second driver, not my second driver.
Oh, of course.
Oh yes. No, it's the Irish Lewis Hamilton, Wigan Hennessy, the world's quickest driver. He's like the best of the worst drivers. Like you know your traditional back drivers this year, like you and DAs, you know, like those kind of drivers. Yeah, he's like the best of those.
I mean, and Day's not by far arguably not the worst.
Like NDA has shown he has pace like once every 10 races. Just when NDA's not on a day, he's literally lost.
That's the easiest way to say that.
I think was it the start of the season when NDA was like getting lapped and holding up the race leaders or something like that.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. I don't know. Just yeah.
Come on in time. We need you to do it again. Correct some spice the next day so it's not under 15 seconds.
Obviously, given how many drivers we criticised and praised, anything could happen tomorrow.
That is true.
It'll probably be some driver that like we don't even mention that wins the race.
What we've particularly seen is there's a lot of fight at the start of the race, but somehow someone always ends up 6 seconds down the road.
But yeah, that's the thing. If you start at the front of the grid and you can get a good start and you can just get into the lead coming out of turn 1 and then all the drama happens behind, and you're that good.
I mean, you say that, but Mario Boucher won by 6 seconds.
But Mario Boucher was lapping consistently and got, admittedly, a lot of luck from the pit stops. But if you can stay out of trouble, you can lap well, and you got clean air, you can win the race easy.
So true. It would be interesting to see if we do end up getting some close finishes. I think there's, even though we've had 6 races so far, yeah, you don't really know what's going to happen yet.
Who do you think wins the title? Just after this stage of the season, who have we got winning the second season title? Could Bonaventura put up the bag, or is there going to be a new champion?
In my opinion,
Here we go.
it's going to be one of 3 drivers. I think it's either going to be Linktvist on consistency.
Yep.
Vyson, who hasn't
I,
always been so consistent, but I think he's shown lots of pace, and he's much more consistent than the Volkswagen.
I mean, he's ninth in the standings at the moment, coming into this race. So I'm interested.
Ultimately, we've seen he's shown a lot of pace, but lost out in other aspects. So I think he definitely has the pace for it, in my opinion.
Oh, my.
Finally, I think it's probably, and
If
I
you
did
had to,
allude to this earlier, and he is now the championship leader, Corleone. I
so
did say in the first race, I think
yeah.
he could possibly do it.
I think for the first time we are actually going to agree on something here, because I'm looking at the standings. If you just ignore whatever on earth happened in the sprint race, like I'm looking at it, Corleone does really well in the feature races, but as a result of that, he gets caught up in the midfield in the sprint races. But when you actually have a look at Corleone's performances in the feature races, he does really, really well.
Well, ultimately, you need doing well in
but
the feature races at the cost of
I mean,
sprint race.
look at the other drivers involved in the title bid. You know, Lindvist, who he's consistent, sure, but yeah, you're going to start getting podiums. Who else is it there? Bonaventura, probably freaked out. You got Yoshia Bison, just tend to do better in the sprint races on average, but it's like he still doesn't do bad in the sprint races. Corleone still able to get points.
I think it's very difficult with Bison because we saw in the first feature race,
Yeah,
he was very quick. They lost a lot of time because of damage
Bison is
in the
just
pit stop.
I'll tell you who could be a dark horse, David Lester, yeah. Just get the car home in one piece and make sure the pit crew is not slow or whatever, yeah. He could still win the set he could still win the series, And I'm not giving up on my point here. David Lester, if they can just get everything to go right, could be a dark horse for the title. But it's a very, very dark horse.
It is very much a dark horse. But we've seen, if you compare him to his teammate, for example, who we know is a top driver, he's held his own and arguably done better than Torres has so far. So we know he's definitely got the abilities to win races and perform well, but he's just come short so far. Is the thing we've been saying of Suffolk. They've just arguably the most frustrating team on the grid because they're always the ones who are very quick but just can't get it in the points. And who knows, maybe they'll turn around and they'll start scoring lots of points, podiums, and wins, and suddenly get themselves in the fight. So very well, Leicester could be in the fight, and that would be very awkward if he ends up winning the title for them and runs out of contract.
I will never give up the fact that David Lester is bound to score points. And I'm going to say it now, I'll be very shocked if David Lester doesn't want to race this season.
There's probably a lot of drivers you could probably put your money on for scoring wins this season. It will be quite interesting to see who becomes the first repeat winner, though, because it seems every race there's someone who's suddenly fastest that wasn't before. Yeah, I think we probably should wrap up this commentary. Otherwise, the end section is going to be like 2 hours long. The race, an hour.
I mean, sometimes you could argue that our discussion is more entertaining, but not in this occasion.
Maybe. But yeah. Cordova's won. Collier in second. Madison first.
I'd
Third.
like to correct you there. Cordova hasn't just won. He's made a mockery of the series.
That's probably fair to be.
They're all driving. They're all driving in their cars. He's walked up with a bloody rocket on the back of his car.
It's like from Despicable Me, where the car's just got literally a massive old jet turbine on the top of it, just sending it launching down to it. Yeah. Also, another point, Balashine, how is he doing this with the Honda? How is he up front all the time in that absolute dog of a car?
I have no idea.
I'm going to say it's voodoo magic. I think he's
No.
the competition.
Now that you've praised him, he'll inevitably just fade into nothingness.
Well, I think we probably commentators cursed half the drivers on the grid at this point in this race. I think the sooner this broadcast ends, the more that people will be wiping sweat off
The
their
commentator's curse is very real.
Yeah, I think it's probably time that we do wrap this up.
Yeah, otherwise, we'll end up discussing some other point, and then we'll be stuck here for another half an hour.
And curse another 8 drivers.
Well, yes, I mean,
Could be unfortunate.
no, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to curse a whole team now. However, both occur just a little bit consistent at getting the minor point. So therefore, they might have an outside chance of winning the constructors. Probably not.
That is definitely bold one.
I mean,
Very
Boltska
bold.
always just seems to be involved in that midfield punt.
Yeah, Portica is second to last now.
In my opinion, I think it's probably going to be Drake or Esther. And I hate to sound boring, but I don't think Stoffel's going to be a consistent.
I mean, I'd say Leicester Motorsport, but they have a Hennessy. So.
Oh, yeah.
If they just had two Austin Lindbits, though, they would have ease.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of teams have one good driver, one bad driver.
Yeah.
Some teams are just inconsistent.
Like your main first driver and your main second driver.
Some teams just have a car that one weekend is dead last, and the other one is suddenly fighting for podiums and points, e.g. Audi and Dufar. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of cars just have a lot of teams just have a very consistently good driver and a very consistently bad driver. But it's disappointing. Right.
It worked last season.
Shall we wrap it up before we start getting involved in this debate for the next half an hour?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the end of the race, and thanks everyone for watching again, and we'll be back with the reverse grid race from Silverstone. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Goodbye.